recipe?
How can you say it doesn't matter? It doesn't change anything about our prevention, okay, and our lack of preparedness for a pandemic like this.
Yeehaw.
And also, if your argument is to, like, I don't know, cut funding to a lab a virology institute that literally fucking works to prevent further pandemics from occurring, then you're stupid. Preventing a pandemic by starting a pandemic? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. People are so dense. I don't know if I will ever be able to. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get this, get people to understand what I'm trying to say here.
Months.
Okay? Boys. Accidents fucking happen. Okay? The whole purpose is so we move on, we adapt. Like, you have to low-key secretly believe that this was deliberate to be able to just, like, try to punish someone for it.
Has Sammy.
You can still do researches on disease outside of China. Clearly, they cannot handle the responsibility. People wide clap will handle the responsibility of disease research. China can't. Yeah, you're right.
China created secret alien puss in a lab.
See, this is the real reason why fucking there are baboons in my chat. It was deliberate. It helped smooth the Hong Kong transition to CCP authority. You mean, you know, taking ownership over Hong Kong, which was still Chinese territory and slated to be given fully to China by a certain date, but accelerated that procedure? Is that what you're saying? Is that actually your argument here? They released COVID into the fucking world and even killed a fuckload of their own citizens just so they could take over Hong Kong, which, you know, they already had. They already have it. But instead of getting it at, like, you know, 2040, whatever the fuck, they got it now. So we shouldn't investigate the origin? No, we should. It's not even confirmed that it's a lab leak, by the way. We are just having this argument over, again, pure speculation. But it isn't like the most insane theory.
RP frogs still love political takes hassle.
Can you listen to an opinion without debate lording? Yes, when it's like an opinion worth listening to. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm a fucking idiot. So maybe that's why I'm really good at spotting idiotic takes. But, like, your takes are not worthwhile. Like, you think that you crafted some really fucking sneaky shit, like, that no one else was able to see. And then you come in here and you fucking release it onto the chat like you're a bat fucking a pangolin, okay? Releasing your cummies into the fucking chat thinking you really did something. And no, I'm here to tell you, like, you're fucking dumb, okay? And I am too. A lot of us are. We're all fucking moronic baboons, okay?
I will not rest until my
but because you are an American, you have this, like, weird entitlement that, like, oh, my thoughts are really important by virtue of me having thought them. When that's not the case. So I'm here to tell you. So that's why you get very upset when I'm like, no, you're an idiot. And I call it like it is. Anyway, we're going to move on from this to the Fauci emails, which is like really big stuff, okay? The really big, scary Fauci emails. We got to see what's going on there. But before we get to that, there's a 6-second ad break that's coming. Okay? You might not know how COVID started, but you do know
1 year next
that at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. And if you want to avoid those ad breaks, you already know how to do it. with a 60 with a fucking Twitch Prime
Let's
for
just
free.
send Alex Jones to China to investigate, hoping he never returns.
Since you want to blame the U.S. for mishandling COVID, how would you have handled it? Dude, I've talked about this a million times over, okay? Just carbon copy. Just copy paste what fucking Korea did, okay? Boom. There you go. Or Australia. Ban travel. Actually fucking start quarantine measures immediately for everyone coming in from China and Italy and other COVID hotspots. And contact tracing right from the jump. Immediately figure out who the fuck has COVID and implement contact tracing measures, which is something we haven't been able to do. New Zealand did a great job.
Cheers.
Australia did a great job too. Anyway, here's the 1 minute ad break now. It's really not hard to do better than we did. Yeah, we did fucking incredibly poorly. Mask mandates, ban travel, quarantine. Why do people act like you have to be a genius to figure it out? We can literally copy everyone else. That's what I'm saying. It's like so fucking stupid. It's so stupid.
Distinct honor and pleasure of having some of your emails, many of your emails released to the public over the last few days. And there have been questions or controversy, some ginned up, but some questions raised about some of them. And I want to get you on the record addressing some of them. There was an email sent to you from an executive at EcoHealth Alliance, and this is one of the companies that funded some of the research at the Wuhan lab. And this email thanked you for basically saying you believed that the origins of the coronavirus were natural. This email said, quote, I wanted to say a personal thank you on behalf of our staff and collaborators for publicly standing up and stating that the scientific evidence supports a natural origin for COVID-19 from bat to human spillover, not a lab release from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That email was April 18th. Now, there are some of your critics who say this shows you have too cozy of a relationship with the people behind the Wuhan lab research. What do you say to that?
Oh, that's nonsense. I don't even see how they get that from that email. That email was sent to me from them. I have always said, and will say today to you, John, that I still believe the most likely origin is from an animal species to a human, but I keep an absolutely open mind that if there may be other origins of that, there may be another reason. It could have been a lab leak. I believe if you look historically, what happens in the animal-human interface, that in fact, the more likelihood is that you're dealing with a jump of species. But I keep an open mind all the time. And that's the reason why I have been public that we should continue to look for the origin. That email, in no way, you can misconstrue it however you want. That email was from a person to me saying, thank you for whatever it is he thought I said. And I said that I think the most likely...
Dude, the captions are translating it for lizard people. I know it, brother. Captions are trying to tell us this is a lizard person, brother. What the fuck?
Origin is a jumping of species. I still do think it is, at the same time as I'm keeping an open mind that it might be a lab leak.
There was an email on April 16th, an email exchange between you.
I don't know how to fucking, what the fuck? Postmates receipts are now coming into my primary. I want to move that to fucking updates. Oh, I just did it. Never mind. You could just drag and drop on Gmail.
You and NIH Director Francis Collins, the email sent to you said conspiracy theory gains momentum. And this, again, was the idea of the lab leak. Those emails, though, as you can see on the screen, or I can see on the screen, was all redacted between you and Francis Collins. Do you happen to remember?
You know,
do you remember what was in the email?
John, they only took about 10,000 emails from me. Of course, I remember. I remember all 10,000 of them. Give me a break.
Glad to have been
but to be clear, you're saying you don't remember, or you can't tell us what was in the body of that exchange.
I don't remember what's in that redacted, but the idea, I think, is quite far-fetched. that the Chinese deliberately engineered something so that they could kill themselves as well as other people? I think that's a bit far out, John.
I mean, not really. It's Orientalist as fuck. They think that, like, China has a lot of bodies and they don't give a fuck. Like, they just don't care. Like, the Chinese government doesn't care about its own citizens or whatever, as opposed to the American government, which certainly cares about its own citizens, boys. I mean, when I think about America, I think about a government that cares about its own citizens, you know? I can't even say that shit with a straight face, dude. We don't even have a health care, dude. At least the Chinese government cares enough. At least the Chinese government cares enough to just fucking build, like, you know, high-speed rail and shit.
Has mods.
I work as an aerospace engineer, and Chinese technology is just not up to par, and they don't care about certain regulations. A big problem regarding Chinese space debris. You can ask them around if you want. That's why it doesn't surprise me that the virus could have escaped from a lab. I know the U.S. isn't perfect either, but they're better at least. Okay, dude. Except the protocols on space, debris is not handled in a similar, is not handled by a similar fucking governing body that works. You're extrapolating something from your supposedly field of expertise, and you're bringing it on to something else that is otherwise controlled by an international body.
And then finally, there was an email from you to Sylvia Burwell, the former HHS secretary, that had to do with masks. And this is getting a great deal of attention. And the date here is February 5th, which I think is hugely important. She apparently had asked you whether she should wear a mask on a trip. And you responded to her concluding, I do not recommend that you wear a mask, particularly since you are going to a very low-risk location. That was February 5th. Right. A lot has transpired since then. If you had to go back and do it all over again, would you tell her something different? Do you regret that?
Yeah. Well, you know, John,
I work in an industry that China has too, and I don't speculate about shit that's unrelated like that guy. Oh, God. Do you work at Raytheon, motherfucker? Raytheon Esports.
Let's get real here. If you look at scientific information as it accumulates, what is going on in January and February, what you know as a fact, as data, guides what you tell people and your policies. If March, April, May occur, you accumulate a lot more information and you modify and adjust your opinion and your recommendation based on the current science and current data. So, of course, if we knew back then that a substantial amount of transmission was asymptomatic people, if we knew then that the data show that masks outside of a hospital setting are actually do work when we didn't know it then, if we realized all of those things back then, of course, you're asking a question, would you have done something different if you know what you know now?
I mean, yeah, no shit. I'm sorry, but that's such a fucking stupid, like... First and foremost, of course, hindsight is 2020. But the problem here with what the fuck Mr. Antonio Fauci's doing here is abdicating responsibility that he personally had to push more, push the Trump administration more, I guess. I mean, we can talk endlessly about whether he had the capability or not, or whether he actually tried to push for it and wasn't able to get anything done on the back end. But the reality is we did know a lot. And we straight up, like, the administration didn't do anything. So there was more. I mean, the admin didn't listen to him regardless. Yeah, I know.
Of course people would have done that. That's so obvious.
So let's go to the top person in search for facts. The director of the National Institutes of Health, Dr.
Oh, yeah, a bioweapon expert. Well, it wasn't a bioweapon expert. It was Michael Osterholm. This is something I talk about a lot. Look at the date on this. March 10th, 2020. I remember watching this together with all of you guys. This was one of the, this was like mind-boggling for me. This person is now on Joe Biden's like COVID response team. Like, Michael Osterholm is a legit he's a legit scientist. Joe Rogan was ahead of the curve. He was ahead of mainstream media having this dude on his show. Joe Rogan was also ahead of Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan now is entirely different than Joe Rogan back then with his takes on COVID. Bro, the Senate, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. Senate parliamentarian issues bombshell ruling that Democrats only get one more chance to sidestep GOP this year. Hey, guess what, dude? Fuck the Senate parliamentarian, okay? She can suck my cock. How about that, Senate parliamentarian? Suck my dick from the back. And also to the Democrats, suck my dick from the back as well if you think that, like, you have no other option you know, you can't engage in the multitude of different ways to deal with this problem. Like, fire the fucking Senate parliamentarian and appoint a new one into that position that is, you know, more sympathetic. Your sexism is showing? Oh, yeah. So is my cock from the back as she sucks it. Okay? Jesus Christ, dude. We'll talk about this in a little bit, though. I'm in the middle of something else. You sound like a person of the future in the movie Idiocracy? Yeah, dude. I guess. It's Pride Month. Equal opportunity cocksuckers here, folks. Straight up.
Back.
I will stand on all fours, okay? As the Senate parliamentarian milks me like I'm a goddamn cow from the back. These fucking idiots, dude. This shit makes me so mad. Senate parliamentarian. Like, shut up, dude.
Francis Collins. It's good to have you on Primetime, Doc.
Glad to be with you, Chris, and glad to talk about what really happened here as best we know it, which still leaves a lot of gaps.
What's up?
I want to get into that morass. Let me just take one step back.
What up, Jordan?
The idea of the Chinese having viruses come from bats that make their way into the rest of the world and make people sick, even in America, is not new. Why have we, nor any kind of consortium, ever done anything about that fact before now?
Well, goodness, we knew, go all the way back to when SARS emerged almost 20 years ago, that came from a bat that got transferred ultimately through a civet cat to humans and took the lives of a few thousand people. So we knew that was a serious issue. MERS came along a bit later, same thing, except it was a camel that was the intermediate host. So we at the National Institutes of Health had to be concerned about that. Global health doesn't really care about country boundaries with the way things travel around the world. We had to be interested in knowing, well, what other viruses are lurking in bats in caves in China? Because that seemed to be where
But nobody
the
ever
was.
cracked
We
down on
probably
them.
wouldn't have done.
Nobody ever cracked down on them. I find
Like
that...
what? Like how, dude? Crack down on them how? What do you mean by this, you fucking dumb himbo? Crack down on what? The bats, dude? What are you going to do? Stop eating fucking animals? Stop destroying ecosystems? Is that what you're going to do? Because I don't think so, because there's not a lot of protein, and pea protein tastes like shit. You're going to keep eating animals? What does this take? Like, oh my God. No knock warrant on the bat? Like, what is he... What does he want to do?
Curious, is that just politics? Was it being afraid of what China would do in response? Why not?
Well, there was a lot of criticism of how China squelched the information about SARS when that happened. Go back and look at those reports. Clearly, they were not transparent about what was happening, and the virus got spread to other places in ways that maybe could have been prevented. So, yeah, there was quite a bit of criticism.
I'm just saying criticism.
Recognition that those
criticism wasn't enough, is all I'm saying. Because what we have now is, obviously under President Trump, you had the CDC cut its staff there by about 2/3, so you didn't even have eyes on the ground. And that leads us to our...
If there's one thing that gets Americans going, American liberals, American libs going, harder than like shitting on Donald Trump, it's shitting on a competing superpower that has made tremendous gains in its endeavors of becoming the hegemonic power around the world, i.e. China. So that is the only reason why we're no longer saying like Trump is orange man bad, orange man bad. Actually, it's fucking China man bad. Orange man also bad, but China is the worst. Okay? That's where we're moving towards right now.
Current problem with contagion, which is where this started. Now, is it a fair criticism to say that you were dismissive of the lab theory early on and that now you are more open to it? And if it is fair, why did you change?
It's not entirely fair, Chris. You know, when this virus first emerged, all of us at NIH were deeply engaged in studying its genome, its letters and its sequence to try to understand what its connection was with previous viruses. And we could see it was a bat virus that looked a lot like one that had been found in a cave in China 7 or 8 years earlier, but it had a lot of differences. Then the theory began to be put forward. Well, maybe it's human engineered. Maybe it's an intentional bioweapon that has been put together with the intention of killing people. That theory really didn't hold up. You could look at the letters of the RNA code and say, no human would have come up with this. That was rather widely spread. The idea that it might have been an accidental leak from the lab, on the other hand, always seemed sort of a dark and unfortunate idea, but not one you could rule out. And today we cannot rule that out. And we know there have been other instances, including in China, where leaks have happened by accidents.
But why are you more opening? Why are you guys calling for an investigation into it now? And just to be fair, you know, even on Fox News, one of the guys was interviewing you about this, and you said, look, I reject the bioweapon part. And, you know, you were told this isn't about a bioweapon. It's just about it happening in a lab. Why are you more open to that suggestion now? Do you think you'll ever know the answer?
I would not say I'm significantly more open than I was last summer when we began to worry about that as a real possibility. But there was so much swirl going on in other areas that probably didn't come to attention. I didn't go to a microphone and announce that. Do I think we'll ever know the answer? Well, we really need an evidence-based, expert-driven investigation. That's going to require China to be willing to let investigators look into the lab records, find out what happened.
Yo, how is this any different than like what fucking Trump was trying to do? Like, just don't focus on like, you know, the lack of mask mandates, the lack of fucking contract tracing. It just straight up like, oh, dude, it was a lab leak. Okay, it was a lab leak, dude. Okay, so what? Like, we need to clean up our fucking rooms. In the words of the great esteemed, honorable Jordan Peterson, like, we got to clean up our fucking rooms, dog. Our rooms are dirty as fuck. It's just so stupid. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how we're just like not talking about the actual issues. I strongly disagree with the Biden administration on their global vaccine rollout. We should help our allies first instead of letting third party decide where the vaccine should go. Since there are not enough vaccines, should we help India or Iran? We should help India first. Wait, what? What?
Poggers.
Yo, I hate this country, dude. Like, straight up.
Fucking Porgo, my boys.
What the fuck, dude? This guy, what a freak, dude. Fuck you. Oh my God. Actually, fuck you. Like,
Not a lot of protein in plants? You kidding me right now, Hassan? You inform yourself and seek the truth on everything else. Why do you still
fucking
ignore the
hate
realities of animal ag? Bad take.
and just
Kevin.
like, you're being anti-Asian. It's nuts. Read his follow-up tweets. We lost that moral high ground the moment we decided to prioritize America's first when it came to vaccines. Now we need to make sure American interests are protected first. I just don't understand, like, how you could fucking say... How you could say, like, how you could understand that it was the bad thing to do to prioritize American lives and then double down and be like, so now we just got to keep doing it. We got to keep doing bad things. David Dole says, apart from the obvious humanitarian issue, since you can't apparently don't care about that, have you considered that giving vaccines to countries that the U.S. government is in conflict with may actually help towards alleviating those tensions? Another great take from him. We need to vaccinate everyone from a science perspective. Doesn't matter if you vaccinate 5 million people in North Korea or 5 million people in Japan. We need to do both. But there are not enough COVID-19 vaccines, so we should help our allies first, just like we helped Americans first. Why is he doing this? What is this, like some wild fucking rebranding for him or something? He's like, also, aren't these the very same people who keep saying, like, China's doing vaccine diplomacy? China is in a unique position because of its biodiversity and other factors, so it has a lot of responsibility to not be cringe with animals. Yeah, I know. We've talked about this before. I liked when you hung out with a lesbian in her Tesla. What? How the fuck is it a controversial take for him? Why would the U.S. not help its allies first? How do you not comprehend that this is a controversial fucking take? Are you dumb? Do you not recognize that, like, giving these vaccines over to COVAX rather than engaging in vaccine diplomacy is the more ethical thing to do, that the United States government is like accidentally engaged in? Beyond that, we already are distributing the vaccines earlier to our at least not our allies per se, but countries that are in our immediate vicinity, like Latin American countries, which is understandable to do.
Pog.
We should give doses to other countries that American Republicans don't want. At the very least, it's a contradicting take. There's no scientific difference. Why would it matter if we share it with allies first? Yeah. Iran should stop its terrorism if it wants the vaccine. Huh. Interesting. Interesting take there. Maybe we I love conservatives too, so this is fucking great. Anyway, what did I say to Ted Lieu? I totally forgot what the fucking what my response was. Did we ratio him or not? Were we able to ratio him? Damn, dude, get those numbers up, chat. You would make them go absolutely lose their minds? Pathetic, dude. We got fucking 40,000 people in here. Almost. Have we looked into that guy who played Boy Tarzan who died in a plane crash with his freakish wife who started an anorexia religion? What? How do you feel about the fact that they're giving more likes and swipes on Tinder and Bumble? If you've gotten the vaccine, is this not insane to you? I think they should ban you if you haven't gotten the vaccine and don't have like an actual medical condition. I think they should ban you from Bumble and Tinder, not just like show you less likes or whatever. Oh yeah, I know he's gonna do a summer tour. I know. He's doing it. He's back. Oh, fuck yes, dude. Urgent coded message regarding CPAC. What? America serve? Jesus.
Goo Hossie.
I mean, if you're an anti-vaxxer and you like post it on your fucking Tinder profile, or if you post like MAGA or some shit on your Tinder profile, like you're never gonna get pussy anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like maybe it's different in like southern states, but I fucking doubt it. And to be honest, like you don't deserve it anyway, so fuck you. Yeah, I said it. And then you can go cry about it in one of your many different outlets about how like women don't want to fuck you because you're an unfuckable nerd.
Yo.
Anyway, all right. Wait, hold on. Let me just let's get to Steven Crowder. Do-si-do. Do-si-do.
Let's look at all major historical gay. You look at milk.
Yeah.
You look at. I mean,
the one you drink or the one?
No, you look at having milk.
Harvey?
You look at people. You look at Dallas. These are people with AIDS.
Yeah.
These are people. Look, I think that if we want people to be happy, you say, well, that shouldn't be an example.
Yeah.
Pick the domesticated Dave Rubin and make him your ambassador. I just like, and I don't like. Look at the. I'm just saying, you're not pointing to great examples because it's not about what we used to want to do with children was encourage them, right? Guide them toward the kind of behavior.
Domesticated gays like Dave Rubin? Damn, dude. Dave Rubin is such a cuck, dude. Are we going to ignore his costume? I mean, I'm kind of bummed because it's like cool. Like, that is actually the coolest thing he's ever worn. This fucking nerd constantly wearing, like, you know.
Wow, wow, ow.
What is the argument? Like, he's saying that, like, gay people got AIDS, so they're a bad example, so we shouldn't use them? Like, you're bad if you...
Your birthday is next month, Big 3-0. What do you want for your B-Day?
Wait. Like, you're a bad person if you got AIDS? What the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Straight people notoriously immune to AIDS. Is he wrong though? Okay, dude, here, you asked for it. There you go. Is he wrong though? Here, I fucking permanently banned you, idiot. Jesus Christ.
Steve Crowder is so white the only blackheads he's seen in person are stuck in his nose.
If you have, dude,
I am not a
yeah.
reactionary.
I
You're
also
just engaging in
I also
puerile
hate people with
laboratorial
MS,
abuse.
dude. Imagine fucking having a disease, dude. Imagine having a sickness. L, dude, you're a bad person automatically.
So happy I found this community. Hassle.
Wonder if he thinks like COVID is the same thing. You're like a bad person if you got COVID. You're a bad example if you catch an STD from reckless, unprotected sex. Stay safe, y'all. I think what's really sad about a lot of pathetic American dweeb losers in here in the chat is that they have no knowledge of like what the AIDS epidemic looked like, right?
Hassie, you are
And like how little information was out there at the time. And like, and why it was
5
so
months,
rampant and destroyed. Why it destroyed the gay community specifically, and partially the reason why it targeted the gay community and also the black community was the reason why the government did not really deal with it or take appropriate measures. I know this motherfucker likes Queen with no hint of irony. Apply how we knew and felt in the beginning of COVID to AIDS.
Been a year, love you, keep doing you, hassle.
Like, what are you supposed to do, dude? No, like be born with the knowledge of a fucking disease that no one understood at the time, with no one educating you on these like important prevention measures. Like, what was the problem? Oh, dude, imagine not literally having the fucking hindsight, dude. Knowing what we know now, so dumb. Over the last 25 years, this is from 2006, AIDS has caused more American deaths than World War II and all subsequent military conflicts combined. In the United States, 40,000 people are infected with HIV each year, and an estimated 1 million are already living with the disease. AIDS has greatly impacted the medical community.
That would create the most content, fulfilled, and productive.
Conservatives who refuse to fucking wear masks to stop disease from spreading are over here being like, did you just ban a guy for promoting safe sex? You think that was what that guy was doing? He said you're a bad person if you get AIDS because you didn't practice safe sex, as though like that's the only way or that's the only reason why so many people fucking died. Are you that stupid? Why'd you ban that guy, he says. Do you want one too? Here, take a week off and think about it. Idiot. I love this argument that like conservatives, as I was saying, you literally got two chatters mixed together. What? No, I didn't. Who did I fucking ban that was not the right person? Don't read my comments. I'm a gray name. Why'd you ban that guy? He was just being homophobic in Pride Month. Come on, bro. I thought Pride was supposed to be accepting of all ideas, including homophobia. Anyway, Let's keep going.
Member of society. Now it's about making sure that they have the greatest awareness of the most marginalized victims.
Holy shit, you banned for nothing? My God. First of all, I give a week vacation to that other person. And secondly, I banned the other person for literally saying that you're a bad person for not practicing safe sex measures during the time of the AIDS epidemic in America. As we were talking about the AIDS epidemic in America. I think I'm going to give you at least a day off. Okay, there you go. I didn't even hear what his fucking follow-up was.
Victims. That's why they're not picking the Buzz Aldrin of the gay community. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No.
I don't even know who he is. Maybe it's Buzz Aldrin.
Although it's certainly not the first guy to take a rocket to the moon. I should stop. Are we thrown off?
We're fine. No,
we're off of YouTube now.
Yeah,
It doesn't
we're
matter.
off.
Yeah, we're totally clear here.
All right.
You are mean sometimes? Yeah, I know. I think I have to be, boys. I'm sorry.
FB catch.
I'm sorry. Fauci deserves to be under criminal investigation. I kind of don't want to cover this more. You banned Swaggy P and Chronic Procrastinator. No, Chronic Procrastinator was like the guy who was trying to get banned, which was, he said, is he wrong though to Steven Crowder saying that people with AIDS are bad? And then I banned this other person who said, you're a bad example if you catch an STD from reckless, unprotected sex. Yeah, I banned that person. While we were literally talking about fucking... While we were talking about, Jesus Christ.
14 months, wow.
While we are talking about gay people getting AIDS during the AIDS epidemic, and this person is saying that, like, you're a bad example if you catch STD from reckless, unprotected sex, that is literally the same take that Steven Crowder is making right now. How are you guys having a hard time comprehending that that is literally the exact same fucking take that Steven Crowder just made there?
Pog hassle.
Okay?
This stream is not a democracy, it is a dictatorship and has its...
Anyway.
No.
How is recommending safe sex bad? That's not a recommendation of safe sex. When you're saying you're a bad example as a gay figure if you had reckless, unprotected sex and got AIDS. Jesus fucking Christ. No one is a bad person for getting HIV. You fucking dumbasses. What the fuck is wrong with you? What kind of leftist community is this? Why are you this way? Please fix your fucking brains.
Okay.
I did see Shabibo's audience turned on him. Pressure on the White House for cyber attacks. Feds, young teens open fire on Florida officers. Candidates who praise QAnon are winning elections across the U.S. There's a serial take from John Oliver. That one's kind of good. But if you were getting it to spread it on purpose, okay, dude, that's entirely separate. Then yes, you are a bad person. But that's not what that person was saying. Shut the fuck up.
6 months.
Oh my God, dude. What is this fucking psychopathic behavior in the chat, dude? Oh, what if you're purposely spreading AIDS to other people? I don't know. Yeah, then you would be a bad person, dog. You would be a bad person if you did that. But that's not what people were talking about. Oh my Lord, dude. Okay, I want to hear
As
what
plans
Bernie
for a
has to say
major
about
new
Netanyahu.
infrastructure bill stall in the Senate, President Biden is meeting with a key Republican negotiator while his allies in Congress grow increasingly impatient. Let's discuss this and more with the chairman of the very important Budget Committee, Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator, thanks so much for joining us. As you know, Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito said she was encouraged after her meeting today with the president, but we got no specifics on whether there's any common ground. Is it time, in your opinion, Senator?
It's like if one chatter said like gays are bad,
You are enough.
and then the other chatter in defense of that other chatter turns around and says, well, what about murderous gay people? Like, what about a gay person who's a serial killer, dude? Huh? Are they bad then? Yeah, they would be bad. Not because they're gay, but because they're fucking serially murdering people. How do you not understand the difference?
Arjan, my wife's boyfriend, loves watching you. Can you give him a shout out? His name is Gerald.
I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Whoop.
Senator, to call it quits, to move on without Republican support?
Well, Wolf, according to the American Society of Civil Engineers, the guys who determine the state of our infrastructure, what the Republicans are bringing forward is about 10 or 15% of what we need to rebuild our roads, our bridges, our water systems, our wastewater plants, not to mention affordable housing, not to mention the healthcare crisis, the child care crisis, the fact that so many of our young people cannot afford to go to college. So I think that the time is running out. And I think that what we have got to do is working with the American people, understand that real wages in America have not gone up in the last 40 years. Half our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Almost all new income and wealth is going to the people at the top 1%. Now is the time to pass a budget which works for working families and the middle class and not just the wealthy.
The Republicans say they're on board with a lot of President Biden's plan when it comes to what they call traditional infrastructure, roads, bridges, airports, stuff like that. Are you and other progressives denying President Biden potentially a bipartisan win by including all of the other issues that you're labeling as infrastructure that Republicans say it's not really traditional infrastructure?
Well, Wolf, what I'm saying is, according to the experts in our country, the American Society of Civil Engineers, what the Republicans are proposing for traditional infrastructure is only a fraction of what we need. I think every American understands that our roads and our bridges, our water systems, all of that is really crumbling before our eyes. I'm a former mayor. And what I know is that unless you invest in infrastructure, it's only going to get worse and it's only going to be more expensive. We now have the opportunity to create millions of good paying, often union jobs, rebuilding our infrastructure. What the Republicans are talking about is totally inadequate.
Do you want to do away with the filibuster right now so that...
Dude, here's the best way to fucking end this conversation. One, first and foremost, be like, we don't need the Republicans for this, so they can suck one. Two, Republicans don't believe ISPs are a part of infrastructure. Like, the quickest way to turn the entire country against Republicans is to just be like, do you like your dog shit internet service? Well, thank Republicans, okay? They literally do not want to add like internet service provider, ISP infrastructure upgrades into the infrastructure bill, okay? That's it. Like, there is no better way to just like literally never lose an election with people under the age of fucking 30. That's it. Don't even talk about the care, the elderly care part about it. Don't even talk about anything else. Not a single person likes their internet service provider in this country. You would win 99% of people under the age of 40. Like What is this? Pokimane talks about your best friend Will Neff? What is this, dude? Where is this coming from?
Will?
Like, how did you did you just literally clip this and send it to me right now?
That legislation is passed in the Senate with a simple majority as opposed to the 60 votes you need when the filibuster is enacted.
Well, given the enormous needs facing, working class people in this country and the middle class, we have got to go forward aggressively. Now, in the best of all possible worlds, we would have at least 10 Republicans who understand that people can't make it on $10 an hour, that we need good paying jobs, that our young people have a right to a college education, not leaving school deeply in debt, that we are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care, that we pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. In the best of all possible worlds, you'd have 10 Republicans plus 50 Democrats who say, yeah, we got to go forward. Unfortunately, Wolf, and let's lay it out on the table, we don't. I doubt that you have one Republican, let alone 10, who are prepared to do the right thing. And if that is the case, of course, we have got to go forward within the Democratic caucus, 50 votes plus the vice president. There was just a report that came out today that talked about how significant it was that those direct payments, those checks, $2,000 in checks we got to working people, what it meant to so many millions of people in this country. And if Republicans don't want to cooperate and help us address the crises facing working families, yes, we have to do it with 50 votes through a reconciliation package.
Exactly. Republicans can suck one, maybe two, okay? Also, the fucking Senate parliamentarian can suck it too.
Your quick reaction while I have you, Senator. Israel's opposition parties have now reached an agreement that potentially will oust the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after 12 years in office. How significant is this?
Well, it is a very strange coalition. They have people on the left, people on the right, people in the middle. So we will see what happens in terms of that coalition. But it is no great secret that I am not a great fan of Benjamin Netanyahu. I think over the years, the coalition that he has put together has become more right-wing, and in some cases, part of that coalition is overtly racist. So I will not be mourning the departure of the Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu, and I hope that Israel will have a government that we will be better able to work with.
Yeah,
he's such a fucking pussy-ass lib on this issue, dude. Straight up. Like, listen, Benjamin Netanyahu, the government changing underneath Benjamin Netanyahu is not going to mean anything when the guy that is going to be the first leader is further to the right than Netanyahu is, Naftali, who started up under Netanyahu in 2006. And secondly, there are unfortunately no actual leaders that give a single fuck about Palestinians. That's literally what he said. It's a strange coalition. He didn't praise it. No,
the Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu, and I hope that Israel will have a government that we will be better able to work with.
Yeah, there'll be
yeah, I guess he just said he hopes. He didn't criticize it further. You can't say the coalition sucks before they do anything, brother.